Hello, my name is Denny Digman, and Krista has asked me to say a little bit about why I volunteer for RRC. Um, I I'll start out by saying that God has blessed my wife and I through our salvation over 35 years ago to um, live our lives the best we could for Him, and through that, we've had the ability to mostly financially support different organizations through the years. And the first one was actually my brother's missionary, who started a missionary in Belize. And we're pretty faithful in our financial support, but we never got personally involved. And he passed away a couple years ago. And when I went on to just look at the website of his missionary, they village got together and they had called him the grandfather of the village. So that made me realize that the personal impact that he had made, and the love that was shown just for him to be there. So that has transformed me in one way. Another, and then at virtually very similar times, our church asked my wife and I to research and find a local organization that was dedicated to helping people that had been human trafficked. And so we started doing a research of all the local organizations in the southwestern Wisconsin area. And through that, Redeem and Restore Center stood out far and above any of the other organizations that we found. They were the only organization who virtually put God first, understanding that without His saving grace, none of us would be able to do the things that might help others, and that our personal impact is worth much more than just financial. So we immediately started helping financially, but then volunteering more, trying to help more, trying to raise some funds. And now the next step is helping Krista and her organization get a home so that we can help those in a personal way. I myself will not be able to work with the Women 101. It's not necessarily my calling at all, but what I'm looking forward to is being able to help maintain the home, paint, plumbing, whatever the skills that the Lord has given me, to be able to help them maintain the home. And then as someone transitions through the process of finding themselves and finding redemption, and maybe in a relationship with God, hopefully, that at the end of that process, there's going to be where they're going to need life skills. And that's where I might be able to help as well, through my years in business and teaching people how to work with equipment, CNC programming, robotic programming, down to how to change a light bulb, how to change a toilet, things like that. That's where I would be able to step back in and really look forward to making an impact in someone's life in that way. So with that said, it was very easy for me to become involved with Redeem and Restore. I don't understand why anyone who hears about this wouldn't get excited and wouldn't want to help, wouldn't want to, financially help if at all possible, but time and effort, those are the things that really impact someone's life. Just knowing that there are people out there that will care about them and not care about their history. That's probably one of the things that I've learned through this, is that as a young person, I thought most of the messes you got yourself into were caused by yourself. And this education has taught me that that is not the case in so many of the people that have been trafficked, that they had no say in what was going on to begin. And then once they're there, they have no say going forward. So again, I don't understand why someone wouldn't want to get involved. I look forward to being able to assist in any way, shape, or form that I can. And I've also found out that all the people associated with Redeem and Restore Center have a heart that I would like to emulate. All right, their heart goes out to the girls, the women, and it is just a pleasure to be associated with that group. And like I said, I just look forward to being able to make an impact in someone's life.
My name is Judi Laramie, and I am a volunteer with Redeem and Restore. Krista, who's become a dear friend, asked me to share with you all why I volunteer at Redeem and Restore. It was a little over a year ago that a friend of mine, who's been a volunteer here for quite a while, told me that they needed a person familiar with QuickBooks to do some bookkeeping. Well, that's exactly what I was doing for the last 8 years for 2 different churches that I worked for before I retired. Don't you just love the way God works? Well, and I thought to myself, is that exactly, you might ask, is that exactly what I wanted to do in my retirement? And my answer is yes, absolutely. God made it clear to me quite a few years ago that retirement is not really a biblical word, but rather it's a time when we have more time to serve Christ and his kingdom. So I've been here about a year now, and I honestly count it a privilege to help do small tasks that free up Krista and others to do what God has called them to do. Sex trafficking is a modern day slavery, and it's horrible. I do believe that what Redeem and Restore is doing is kingdom work. Work for the kingdom of my God, the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords, Jesus Christ. You see, Christ came to set the captives free. In Luke 14:18, Jesus said, "The Spirit of the Lord came upon me because he has anointed me to proclaim good news to the poor. He has sent me to proclaim liberty to the captives and recovering of sight to the blind, to set those free who were oppressed." What a privilege it is to be a part of an organization that rescues people from the enemy of our souls. He, God, rescued me from my strong enemy and from those who hated me, for they were too mighty for me. That was Psalm 18. What a privilege it is to be a part of an organization that seeks to redeem afflicted people. That is exactly what Christ, in his love and pity, has done for me and for all his people. In Isaiah 63, we're told, in all their affliction, he, God, was afflicted, and the angel of his presence saved them. In his love and in his pity, he redeemed them. He lifted them up and carried them all the days of old. What a privilege it is to help in some small way an organization that seeks to restore people. Remember the man with the withered hand that met Jesus? And Jesus just said, stretch out your hand. And the man stretched it out and it was restored, healthy like the other. And do you remember the blind man who met Jesus? Jesus laid his hands on him and on his eyes, and he opened his eyes, and his sight was restored, and he saw everything clearly. And of course, the one we're all familiar with from Psalm 23. He refreshes and restores my soul. He leads me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake. And so, yes, it is a privilege to work for Redeem and Restore. This is the business of heaven. And a final word to all of you who labor, who support, who volunteer, who give, who pray, and all you have who have been rescued by the Lord. A word from the Apostle Peter. He says in 1 Peter 5:10, and after you have suffered a little while, we do suffer in this world. He told us there would be trouble, but he said a little while compared to all of eternity. The God of all grace, who has called you to his eternal glory in Christ, will himself restore, confirm, strengthen, and establish you. May our God bless each and every one of you.